Hey guys, it's Russ from Kilt and Cork, and we are excited to be up here in Camino. It's been a really cool week up here. I've been up on this road, Carson Road, a lot, and I kind of wanted to just recap really quick. But right now we're at Via Romano Vineyards, and it's right on Carson Road. It's a beautiful venue, as you can see behind me. And we do have a live audience tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around and to say everybody hello. Say hi to everyone out there in Facebook land and Instagram land. It's very cool. We also have some pizza back there, so we'll kind of talk about that here in a minute. Anyways, we are again at Via Romano Vineyards, and it's up here in Camino. It's been a really cool week in Camino because we had another grand opening just down the road, which was the Nello Olivo Winery and the Highway 50 Brewery opened this week. And if you remember, we did a show there about 3 weeks ago. And it was really exciting. It was a great day. They had some fun activities, really cool band. Of course, Island Black and White was there. They have great beers. They've got great wines. And it's really a good addition to this neighborhood, I believe. So we spent some time there. And while I was there at that grand opening, people were coming up to me and saying hi and introducing themselves, which is really cool. It's great to hear that people are watching the show and that people are enjoying the show. And one person in particular came up and gave me a really good, some really good feedback, if you will, about how we're doing the show. And I just wanted to give him a real quick shout out, and that was Nick Gibbons. So Nick, thank you very much for coming up and introducing yourself and for just saying hi. That was really cool. So I really appreciate that. So anyways, again, Camino right now is calmed down a little bit. The whole Apple Hill thing, it's kind of calmed down as far as all the crowds, and it's a fantastic time to come up and taste wine and visit breweries and visit farms. And I'll let John and Leanne kind of talk to you a little bit about their tasting room and how you can come up here and visit them. But just keep that in mind. The first couple of weeks in November are a fantastic time to come here to El Dorado County and spend some time up here, not just in Camino, but all the wine regions. So I encourage you to do that. It's a wonderful time with the weather, with all the activities that are going on. So keep that in mind. So I want to get into this because we've got some really cool things to talk about. And I really want to introduce my hostess and host, as I am their guest here in this beautiful venue. And so I have Leanne Davis. Hello. Oh, wow. And I have wine she's brought me.
We have wine.
That is wonderful. I really appreciate that because I'm kind of thirsty. But thank you so much for having me here.
We love having you here.
My hands are cold. Thank you.
That's right.
And cheers.
Cheers.
So this is Leanne Davis. She's part of Via Romano. Her husband is busy working right now. So
yes. And
kind of off camera. So we'll get to him in a second. But I was really would like to hear your story. How did Via Romano come to be, and kind of just give us a real quick overview of that.
Okay. So John and I got together about 8 years ago because of our love for wine. We got married in Italy 5 years ago. Wow. And we honeymooned in the town of Barolo. And while we were up there, we fell in love with the Nebbiolo grape. So when we came home from Barolo, we brought some wine and we gave it to my parents. And my mother loved it so much, and she decided to give us 2 acres of land to plant Nebbiolo.
Wow.
So we did. And the day we planted, I said, and this is what you should never do, because I said never. I said, we will never open a winery. We just wanted to be farmers. Uh-huh. And about a year and a half later, my husband lost his job of 29 years. They closed his department. He was in print media, and the print media business is kind of going away. And so the Sacramento Bee closed his department. And when they did, he came home kind of panicked, like, what am I going to do for a living? And I said, well, you make wine, so go make wine. And he did. And he fell in love with it. He enjoyed it so much that we decided to cash in all of our retirement.
Wow.
And jump in feet first, blindfolded with our hands tied behind our backs. And we didn't know, we'd never owned a business before.
Okay.
We didn't know anything about it. So we found some really great people in this business. And the one thing I really love about the wine business is that between wineries, we're not competitors. Everybody has your back, and they can give you as much advice as they can, and they love to do that. So we've found some really, really great people up here who've helped us become who we are today. So
that's a great story.
Yeah.
I love that. So
Love
married
that.
in Italy, and so Nebbiolo, though, from what I know about Nebbiolo, that's a really difficult grape to grow.
yes, I
That's
love a
difficult-
challenge.
Yeah, so you picked kind of one of the most challenging
Yes, I did.
varietals.
We've had a few times where we've run into people and we've told them what we grow,
Mhm.
and when we say Nebbiolo, they go, "Oh man!" And they're Nebbiolo growers.
No kidding.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's been kind of funny, but we've not had any problems to date. Our first harvest will be next year. This year we got a little bit of grapes, but the birds got the rest of them. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Nebbiolo, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's our third year with the grapes planted, so we are
Are you,
next year is good.
Just going to blend with it, or is it going to be something you might make?
Eventually, we'll make
Single.
a single varietal, but right now we're going to use it for blending. And we, right now, source our fruit from local farmers. We only go in the Sierra foothills, so Calaveras, Amador, and mainly El Dorado. Since we've opened, we've really been streamlining to purchase fruit from El Dorado growers. We don't go outside of the Sierra foothills, though.
Okay, that's outstanding. The fruit up here is
It's amazing.
It is amazing, and
there's so many varietals. There's over like 70 plus varietals.
right, yeah, you can
Yeah.
do that. I mean, with all the microclimates, here, I'm sure people that aren't familiar with El Dorado County and even Amador, you can grow a lot of really good fruit. Cabernet grows great here.
I know
And
it does.
so-
We've
but
heard that it
Nebbiolo-
didn't, but they were wrong.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do a whole nother show on Cabernet. I just want to tell the audience out there one of these days, because it's an important varietal for the foothills, and it is truly an amazing grape that we'll talk about one of these times, but not now.
Okay.
I do want to say I am Russ from Kilt Cork, and I'm sitting here with Leanne Davis from Via Romano. And we have some people saying hi out there. So it looks like Jeremy, the Existential Wine Guy, says
Hey,
hi.
hi, Jeremy.
Kathleen, the Houses, who are part of our audience
They're right
behind
behind
us,
us.
they say hi. So a lot of love for you, Leanne and John up
Thanks.
here.
We have just been blessed immensely. The people who live up here have just embraced us wholeheartedly, and we're thrilled.
Well, I'm glad you're here. It's an amazing venue. If you haven't seen this venue, this tasting room, it's kind of a country chic. I think you said barnyard chic.
Barn chic.
Barn chic. Okay. Barn
Barnyard.
chic. Barnyard. There's no animals running around, so I guess barnyard's out of the question, but it's barn chic. It's really hip. I mean, it's a cool place. Leanne does a lot of the decorations. You painted these boxes off the side this week.
I did. Well, I was an interior designer before I started this life as
Okay, so it shows. Obviously, it shows in this location. Your eye and stuff. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
So is John available? What's John doing?
John's right there.
Hey, John, we're going to bring John tuning into the equation here. How you doing, John? It's good to see you. You don't have a glass of wine.
I did. I left it somewhere.
Oh no. Well, you want to have a seat next to your wife, or you can scoot closer to me, I think.
Grab my glass.
All right. Make sure we're all on here. So I'm bringing John on because one of the cool things, if you follow Via Romano, and I encourage you to do that, it's at Via Romano on Facebook and
At Via underscore
Romano on Instagram. And they're great at social media, so you can really see some cool stuff that they're doing. Okay, so John, let's see. You're going to scoot a little bit closer. Leanne, you're going to come closer.
I'm going to come closer.
We're going to scoot into frame here. And so,
there, with the camera.
so one of the cool things about your whole story is it's a romantic story. So is that you, John? Are you the natural romantic in this equation?
I can be.
Yes,
Okay.
Secretly.
He is.
Secretly.
He is.
No, I am. But yeah, I mean that's the whole thing about the two of us getting together, and I can remember when I was single, going for
You were
periods.
single?
Okay, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
What were you
Just
talking
kidding.
about?
but it was going for periods of a year without dating just because I was tired of meeting the wrong person.
Yeah.
And so that's when you meet the right person, and that's what happens is you know it.
You know it.
Yeah.
And so you knew it, and you swept her off her feet, and you took her to Italy to marry her.
Or vice versa.
She swept you off.
Well, and we didn't. I think we went to Italy probably. What was it, about 8 months after we met, something like that.
First time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we didn't get married for another couple of years, 2-3 years.
Oh, that's good. You had to make sure it's going to work.
Absolutely.
And before you open a winery, grow Nebbiolo.
Yeah. Well, there's
So,
that.
but-
yeah.
But yeah, the whole Italy experience was, I mean, for me, it was eye-opening because I, never been there before.
And your wines are largely Italian varietals, in Italian theme and Italian
style.
Style.
Yeah.
And so I'm drinking Carolina here. Carolina, sorry.
Catalina.
Not Carolina. Carolina, slap me. So just tell me a little bit about your real quick about your wine profiles, kind of what they are.
Well, since we do Italian varietals, that's the start of it. But there's also the blends that, Chiantis are a blend, Super Tuscan.
And that's what
blend.
this Fiasco is, your Chianti style wine.
And the blending part can be a lot of fun because we have a chance to work with the Italian varietals and then seeing what they can do blended together in a wine like this one.
Okay.
And to my knowledge, our Carolina is the first of its type that I know of, at least anywhere. I haven't seen anything like that.
That's what I'm drinking. And if you're watching this and you can't, I'm going to put it up to the microphone, see if you can smell that, because the nose is amazing. And the flavors that you've got in this wine are, I've never tasted anything like it before.
And that's,
so what are the varietals?
So the varietals in this one is primarily Nebbiolo, about 40%. And then we've got about a little over 25% Barbera, and then smaller proportions of Dolcetto and Grenache. So the three Piemontese grapes, which are the first three, Nebbiolo, Barbera, and Dolcetto, I mean, they're big wines on their own. Nebbiolo's got this fantastic tannic structure, a lot of acid. Dolcetto's got a beautiful nose to it, as well as the the tannins as well. Barbera's always been known for its acid.
Love the Barbera.
But the Grenache tends to add a little softening effect to those.
It's beautiful.
As well as adds nose to it.
Well,
and the reason we added the Grenache in there is because my mother loves the south of France.
Okay.
We wouldn't have had this business without her, because she gave us the land to plant the grapes, and that kind of.
Thank you, Mom, for doing that. By the way.
Thank you, Mom. Cheers.
Glad they're here. Well, I wanted to talk about another really cool treat that you have here, and the story is wonderful. So maybe, John, while you're pouring that, Leanne, you can kind of tell us a story and tell us a little bit of behind what this wine is all about.
Okay.
Well, technically, it's Nocino. It's not really a wine, even though we had to call it that on the label. This is Nocino.
We can bring it over. Yeah. There we go.
It's in Italy. It's called Nocino,
okay.
And Nocino is essentially a liqueur that is made from green walnuts.
Green walnuts.
They harvest green walnuts at the end of June on San Giovanni Day, and it's done by virgins in flowing robes at nighttime.
Gotta love that.
We didn't do that.
They didn't do that.
I did the flowing robe part.
Yeah, it was really cute.
So wait a minute, you're supposed to pick them though at midnight or something like that, right? Okay, on San Giovanni
Day.
Okay.
So then what we do is we just quarter the walnuts up, layer them with sugar, put them in a big container, and let them sit in the sun for 5 to 7 days.
Nice.
And what they do at that point is they start a little bit of a fermentation. So the once that's done, we pour brandy over the top of it, cover them with some fall spices for about a year, and so we get. We have cinnamon, cardamom.
All right, I gotta taste this.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
okay. Let's get this. I gotta taste this. So, only thing different about this is virgins did not pick these walnuts. It was the next vintage. You assure us that virgins will pick.
You know what? If you can find us some, we can have a live broadcast from.
I'm not going to even go and address that statement.
We also need some walnut picking experience as well as being a virgin.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll help.
That'll help. I mean, obviously, the obvious answer is, get some 8-year-olds out there that are related to you, cousins, nieces, nephews, and just have them pull a walnut off the tree, and then that's good. So,
but it's interesting hearing what people get on the nose, because everybody gets something different from this. I mean, I know what I put in it, but and some of the things I can pull out in the nose. But it's also just got this wonderful warming effect.
It does. It's
and when we made the label, the very first time we made this, we made it for our wedding party, and we gave it to our friends. And I would tell them when they were asking what it was, I said, "It's fall in the glass."
It totally is fall. I was just going to say,
fall in the glass.
It smells like fall. It has the color of fall. I don't know if you can kind of see that out there. It's a beautiful orange, dark, light brown color. It's got a little sweetness to it. I mean, you kind of get You get the spiciness in the nose and the taste.
There are some interesting spices in there besides the cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, the things that you can taste. There's some subtleties. John roasts his own coffee, and so there's his coffee beans in there. We've got bay leaf from my mom's property, pink peppercorn. There's a lot of different things that just layer upon layer upon layer.
So I heard a rumor, or you guys have to tell me if this is true, that there's only 5 wineries in the whole United States that are authorized or allowed to make this.
That are
beverage.
licensed. Yeah,
Okay.
That's our understanding.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you're watching this and you're anywhere within the area, you got to get up here and try this Nocino.
Yep.
It's called Vino di Noce.
Vino di Noce. Oh,
Wine
like
of
wine
the
of
nut.
night. I love that.
No, wine of the nut.
Oh,
Noce in
Noce is
Italian
nut.
is nut.
Wine of the nut.
Note is nice.
Okay, gotcha.
Night.
So wine of the nut,
Wine of
and
the
this is delicious. But the catch is there's not that many bottles, is there?
300.
We had 300,
Okay.
basically about a little less than 25 cases.
So-
we have about half of that.
But we
left.
have
Okay, about half of that left. You hear that? So
Yeah.
you got to race up here and get some of this if you want some for the fall, Thanksgiving.
and we do have 2 more batches sitting on walnuts right now.
Okay.
So
So next year.
And each one will taste just a little different depending on what
That's delicious.
spices we add and how long we leave it there.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's so unique. It's such a unique profile, unique taste. It's delicious. So we've got a few more minutes left here. If you guys have any questions for John, we do have a question. So how did Fiasco get its name?
John did it.
John
Well-
did it.
it's always that association with my names. Well, fiasco has, everybody knows what a fiasco is. That's
Well,
that's the
they might,
obvious thing.
hopefully.
But the little known thing is that fiasco in Italian means flask, and that's the name of the wicker basket around the old style Chianti bottle.
Oh, okay. I did
So,
not know that.
Yeah, so
Very
that,
cool.
that
Little
wicker
play on
basket's
the
called
name.
a fiasco,
Yeah.
and so I love double entendres, and so that's when we're going to make a Chianti style. I said, this is
Yeah.
what it's got to be. So
That's so cool. Yeah, and the bottle, the way it's presented, it's beautiful with the wax seal and
We
the,
do that by hand. Every single bottle.
and you do this by hand too.
We do
They
that
wax,
by
yeah.
hand.
So I mean, everything about this place is just amazing. They do so much here. That's just outstanding.
Thank you, Russ.
You guys, thank you so much for
Thank you
having
for
me tonight
coming.
here.
You're welcome.
Stay here. We're just going to wrap
Okay.
up real quick, and if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to kind of jump in and ask John and Leanne anything about their wines or their romance or a nut. Nut wine is delicious.
Isn't it great?
It's so cool. I got 2 wines I got to finish here. So anyways, I just wanted to really quick thank you guys for joining us tonight here at Via Romano in Camino. Next week, we're going to be at the Heart Lounge, which is in Placerville. And it's going to be kind of a different show, kind of fun show. I will say more adult-oriented show, but this is a show for adults anyways. We don't have any kids watching this show, hopefully. Or adult-oriented. Well,
if you are, go to bed right now.
go to bed. Yeah, don't watch. Next week, don't watch. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there.
Oh, yes. We are looking,
yes.
we are looking
Yeah,
for
if
walnut
you're
pickers.
walnut pickers need to apply, but don't watch the show next week. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually gonna be a great show. They're kind of a cool little different kind of a location, really cool place, like live jazz and really cool shows. So we're gonna talk about that next week. Also, I wanted to bring to your attention that we are going to be talking about our next house party. We still have to nail down the details of what winery / distillery might be involved in that, but basically, it's going to be at the end of November, and we're going to do kind of a traditional holiday party. So we're going to just make it kind of wine cocktails and
sounds
just
like
kind of fun. Yeah, so it'll be kind of a little bit more upscale than what we've been doing with our adult game nights and zombie takeovers and stuff. But those are fun, and we really enjoyed that. So anyways, anything else you guys want to talk about as far as events here? What's going on? Your pizza, I know you got pizza back there.
So during from mid-April to the end of October, the second and fourth Friday of every month, we do pizza on the patio.
Mhm.
John makes pizzas, and we have unlimited pizza, and you come and you buy wine by the bottle or the glass, and we have a band.
Wow.
And every week, it's a different band. Every time we do it. And then if you go to our website, which is vrv.bin, we have all of our wine and design classes. Once a month, we do a crafting class. We try and make it on the third Wednesday, but once in a while it moves up or down a little. And this next one is next Wednesday, and we're going to do naturally colored pasta making.
So go to their Instagram page right now and
Right
look at their post and Facebook, and you'll see what they're talking about because it's really cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So you see there's a lot going on up here at Via Romano. I hope you guys come up here, take advantage of it, meet John and Leanne, taste some of their wines, spend some time up here. I can tell you this is a place that you can just sit and relax and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the ambiance, and just enjoy
And we have a nice pond now too.
And we have a pond.
Ooh, they
We're
have a
going to be
pond.
putting bocce ball in for the spring and cornhole and
So-
giant Jenga.
Giant Jenga. Oh wait, and you also said something about some kind of a
Cabanas.
cabanas.
We're going to do cabanas kind of like Vegas, but on the barn chic kind of side.
Don't
There you
forget
guys
the
have it.
Tiki torches too.
Tiki torches.
There's a lot of reasons to come up here and visit Via Romano, you guys. I'm serious. So thank you everybody out there for watching our show tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here with John and Leanne, and thank you guys again for having us.
Thank you, Russ.
So we'll
Yeah.
see you all out there next week. It's my pleasure. Cheers for you
Cheers.
joining the show tonight.
Chin chin.
Chin, chin, chin. That's right. Chin, chin. Join us next week. We'll see you then. Thank you very much. And be sure to share this and like us on Facebook and Instagram, both Via Romano and Kilt Cork. And we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.